On this week's breaking news, LEGO has announced a new Batman video game. Willy Wonka is coming from LEGO Ideas, and get excited for a new season of Rebuild the Galaxy. All that and much, much more on this week's breaking news. Today's episode is brought to you by Back-to-Brick, my newest venture into the Eiffel merchandise, the ultimate LEGO-inspired clothing line that's not just fashionable, but also celebrates the very foundation of the LEGO system we all know and love. Imagine minimalist designs that seamlessly blend style and nostalgia. Back-to-Brick brings you high-quality apparel inspired by the iconic LEGO bricks we know and love. Each piece is crafted with precision and attention to detail, making it a must-have for any LEGO enthusiast. These aren't just your average threads. We're talking about minimalist designs that don't scream at you, but just show your nerddom in a classy way. And of course, they're inspired by designs found in the LEGO system. And you know what screams quality? Embroidery. Almost every piece is stitched with love, featuring those iconic LEGO elements. It's like wearing your childhood memories, but making them fashionable. So whether you're a hardcore Eiffel or just want to rock some seriously cool gear, check out the Back-to-Brick Wear page on Etsy. Dive into the collection, embrace the LEGO spirit, and let's make some memories together. Back-to-Brick Wear, where the style meets nostalgia. Head over to the Back-to-Brick Etsy page and let the fashion adventure begin. Happy building, my friends.
Lego. Breaking news.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Brick. I'm your host Garrett, and this is the podcast where we talk with fellow Eiffels about their LEGO designs, and we get down to the breaking news to talk about all things LEGO has been up to for the past week. Thank you for tuning into this week's podcast, and make sure you subscribe so you keep up to date on all the latest LEGO news, because there's always a ton throughout the week. But I really want to thank our patrons over at Patreon. They're the ones that keep the lights running as I get their podcast out early, ad-free, and of course trying to build a fun little community. Now, I will say that I have been pretty silent on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, all that, because I've been moving. I've taken it on as my full-time job, and I really don't know how anyone with 2 jobs or even 2 jobs and kids are able to move, because it is absolutely ridiculous, honestly. And I think the only way you can do it is having to pay movers to do everything, because it's just impossible to really get anything. And we just rented our property, and we just got a rental. We didn't even look for buying a house, which is another crazy event in itself. So yeah, it's been rough. I just want to let you know also that next week I will not be doing an episode, because that is the day we will be moving in. Crazy to think that that time has blown by so fast, over a month, and it's just a blink of an eye as we continue to pack. And it's been fun trying to pack with a dislocated shoulder, but we're getting on the mend, so we're moving towards a better thing here. So we'll be doing our news, and then at the end of the episode, we're going to do our set reviews as we always do. Our first one is going to be set 43230. This is a retiring set, the Walt Disney Tribute Camera. So you're going to want to get it before it disappears. And then our next is called the Autumn Arboretum. It's a modular set by Modular Maniac. So that one is a really fun build, and definitely something that you can add to your cityscape. All right, everyone, that's all I have. Let's get into this week's breaking news stories. Our first one is LEGO has been building their manufacturing plant in Prince George, Virginia. And as they continue to add new jobs and in a complete new facility, especially for commerce area, they just received an $8 million tax incentive package. So that really encourages them to go in there. And they probably could have had a incentive to do renewable energy, which is what they're going to do. But, of course, administrations change. And they'll still continue to do it because they're trying to hit their own targets for the company itself. But it would have been nice to give them a little bit more tax incentive to even grow that further than just giving the plant and maybe even the town some of the power of it. All right, there's a lot of minifigures confirmed for the Death Star set. Now, if you've seen the leaks, there's a lot of disappointment about it because, well, it's not a ball. Looks like it's just going to be some wall art style with $1,000 and about 9,000 pieces. But let's run through the minifigures here because there are quite a lot. But none of them are the special. There's 38 of them. Luke Skywalker has 3 different variants. Luke Skywalker as a rebel, Luke Skywalker Stormtrooper disguised, and Luke Skywalker the Jedi. There are 2 Han Solos, Han Solo Stormtrooper disguised and Han Solo Captain of the Millennium Falcon, Chewbacca, and then Princess Leia from A New Hope droids. We get an R2-D2, C-3PO, a 5D6 RA-7 protocol droid, and an astromech droid. And then we've got Ben Kenobi, or Old Ben, Darth Vader, and Emperor Palpatine. Imperial Command is kind of the new ones here. We've got Grand Moff Tarkin, Director Orson Krennic, Galen Erso, Colonel Wolf Yularen, Admiral Mahdi, and General Tagi, and an Imperial dignitary. Imperial troopers, we get stormtroopers, 6 of them, a hot tub stormtrooper, which that'll be fun. Imperial Royal Guards, there's 2 of those. An Imperial shuttle pilot. Imperial crew members are 2 of those. Death Star Gunner is 2, and Death Star Trooper 2, Imperial Navy Trooper, and Imperial Navy Officer. So that's quite a few of those. I'm interested to see this in person. It's quite a cost for something like this. Expect to see this coming out on October 1st, but definitely some leaks coming out, and the official reveal probably mid-September. LEGO Masters Jr. is kicking off, hosted by Kelly Osbourne, and it's definitely going to be an interesting take on some of these. It premiered this past week. You can get on DirecTV, Sling TV, Hulu, and Live TV. And who knows, maybe they'll throw it on YouTube. Unlikely, but it has enthusiasts of LEGO, ages 9 to 17, and having a celebrity partner to help them on their journey to try to win $50,000. Hopefully they had some better standards than what the LEGO Masters Adults version has. I won't be watching it. And if you are, hopefully that they're fun and cool builds and definitely enjoyable for that age range. Rita Elbill, a 67-year-old in a wheelchair who has recently survived cancer, needed a wheelchair ramp, and it seems that it's hard to get, and they are quite expensive. The shop itself didn't want to knock down the door completely to redo it, and they decided, well, let's help and build one for her. And this one was built out of Lego, and it only cost $100. They talked about getting the Lego is actually the hardest part. People who have Lego at home usually don't want to give them up because it's something that goes through all generations. And they really wanted to piece this all together. And it's fun to have all these donations and build something like this for someone who loves this shop and loves Lego. So integrating it into the community is really fun and enjoyable to see that LEGO can really help in something like this. We're getting another bust here soon, potentially for Marvel, including some fun arms that you might know from Dr. Octopus or Doc Ock. There hasn't been any real reveals yet, but possibly some leaks. We already got the Iron Man bust, way too expensive, but the Iron Spider bust was also too expensive, but it had its claws, and hopefully we'll see the Doc Ock one be a little bit better here. The busts have been, well, personally kind of a bust, so I don't know. The helmet series has been more successful, and Star Wars has been killing it on those. Likely to see a little bit more disappointment still in this coming sometime this year. There's some rumors of a new Winnie the Pooh set. We had a Winnie the Pooh set for a LEGO Ideas set. It was an 18 plus, and it looks like we're going to get the same again at $150. Not sure exactly what it will be. We got Winnie the Pooh's home, and maybe we'll get some other additions to that. I haven't seen anything in particular that might suggest that, but it looks like we're going to get another set here focused on Kevin and Doug. Probably a buildable figure similar to what they've done for like Simba and Stitch. That'll be really fun to see Doug in that form, and Kevin, I don't know how big they're going to be because, well, that's pretty expensive. And so we're going to get, of course, more and more Disney things throughout the year, and continuing on the expansion of the kid style builds for adults of the animals. I think it's going to be very popular still. A new LEGO Ideas set has just been announced, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. It's going to cost $220, 2,025 pieces, and be released on the 15th of September. And of course, it has all of our classic characters that we know and love or hate from the movie. Veruca Salt, Charlie Bucket, Augustus Gloop, Violet Beauregard, Grandpa Joe, and Mike TV, and of course Willy Wonka himself with 2 Oompa Loompas. It has a waterfall of chocolate and the boat running through it. There's even the teacup flowers. There's some small details in the back section of it. We've got a small TV and it has a tiny trophy figure. So that's Mike TV there. We have the gumdrops or the bubble gum. And I think it's the office of Wonka. All in all, it's a beautiful, fun set. And for any fans of the movie, it'll be a great collection piece. A new architecture set is on the way. Lego Paris Eiffel Tower. This is going to be slightly bigger than the Skyline version that we got in 2019, and it's going to cost $80 and about 958 pieces. Not sure of the size and scale of it, but definitely something that will be interesting. It has a large piece count, so it's going to have a lot of detail, hopefully detail enough that you recognize it well, and it has a beautiful display section because the large scale version was very impressive and cost a lot. It definitely was something a lot of people were interested and enjoyed. I know someone that's displayed it, and it looks very impressive. Just I don't have much space, especially as I buy more and more sets and don't have the shelf space, but that might change here soon. So stay tuned as I try to engage and really grow my collection display space. Lego Star Wars Rebuild the Galaxy Pieces of the Past. This is season 2 of the hit show, and it integrates a lot more than just minifigures. We're getting some new builds, as well as the brick heads, which will be interesting, and a large-scale Chewbacca that we've already had for the latest set, which was controversial for a lot of people that liked it / didn't like it. And they even have K2SO coming back with Alan Tudyk, who is the voice of K2SO and a great comedian. I really enjoyed his TV show Resident Alien, which I just finished. Unfortunately, they capped it at 4 seasons, but definitely worth the watch. This will be streaming September 19th on Disney+, and I will try to do an episode review as I think it deserves it, and it looks like it'll be fun. It's going to be a fun journey, as it always is for a fun Star Wars animated version, just like they did for the first season. Lego.com and Bricklink will be integrating here on September 18th. So that means all our accounts are going to be blended into one. What does that mean? That means that it's supposed to be easier to get access to it, such as our sign-in, our ID card pics, username and store names, privacy policy, and terms of service will all be integrated into one thing. Here's the problem. It's not going to work very smoothly, at least what I think, because there are a large amount of people on both sites, so the integration is going to be a challenge. I think that they're trying to just get the head start on it, but honestly, I think it's going to be hard for a lot of us to get that integration to be smooth. But look out for some changes here soon. And you probably already received an email from Bricklink. And just as a warning, what's about to happen? Lego is releasing a brand new game. They announced it at GameCon this year, Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight. This is their first big game with TT Games in a while, and since the Skywalker saga. And let's talk about the breakdown here. Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight is a brand new open-world action-adventure video game that invites players to embark on Bruce Wayne's epic journey to become the hero of Gotham City. Inspired by decades of Batman films, television, comic books, and games, and jam-packed with Batman nostalgia, DC lore, and TT Games' signature brand of fun-filled Lego humor. I love the Lego humor from TT Games. The only thing I'm disappointed in is that they're doing voices instead of the classic mumble, which that was what I was part of. And I think it looks really fun. There's some reviews already out there, and they've talked about how the integration of Batman into this type of world is a great way to continue the Batman legacy. I do like Batman, and they did have the Batman video games from before, and I think this is kind of their overall similar to Skywalker Saga, capturing all of that. And it'll be included on all the major platforms, PS5, Xbox, SX, Switch 2. I don't know about the standard Switch. I think that they're kind of going away from that, which kind of sucks because that means I need to get a Switch 2. And Steam and Epic Games Store. So stay tuned for that to come out here soon. There isn't an official release date yet, and I'm excited to see what people think of it once it does get released. One of the fun things in the Batman game is Matt Berry, who is from What We Do in the Shadows, is going to be the voice actor of Bane. I just wanted to throw that in there because he's hilarious, and I think it'll be a fun addition to this game. Kpop Demon Hunters has been an iconic hit from Netflix, and I've already watched it once, probably going to watch it again, but someone decided, well, of course, let's make it into a stop motion video. Now, the man Preston Mutanga is, of course, the creator of this, and he's done some other interesting work, such as the Wolverine trailer and Grand Theft Auto trailers. And it's not too long; it's about 15 seconds, but it's definitely a fun version of one of the songs, "How Get It Done," from the hit show, one of the first opening songs of it. And Maggie Kang, who directed this thing, said, "OMG, we got Legoed by the incredibly talented FG_artist. Makes me want to play my girls in official Lego game." Who knows? Maybe these characters will turn up in Fortnite as they've done for a lot of the movies, and it's extremely popular. So I feel like people would really, really like it. And definitely go check out the movie itself as well as this fun video, because I think you'll really enjoy it. Studio GoGo has created some fun Lego jewelry. They've created 2 rings, one inverted Lego and the other studs up Lego, so you can build on it. And they've even created a 1x1 and just creating these fun rings that you can wear with Lego pieces. The designs are truly beautiful, and I can't believe that Lego hasn't come out with these. These are, of course, made of metal so that they can have an integration of, looking stylish and still having the functionality of Lego. So you can go over to their Etsy store and purchase these. I'll put a link in the description. They're not cheap. You're looking at almost $300 for some of these, but I highly recommend if you're a big fashionista or fashion-forward person, this is a fun way to throw in your love of Lego as well. Lego went to GamesCon this year, and as we just talked about, they revealed the Batman movie, but then they, of course, had their booth, which is incredible. The Going Merry was built with a full-scale version of it, like absolutely massive version of this from One Piece. And of course, the characters, they have the large build versions of the minifigures, focus on Fortnite as well with Peely. They even have their Digi Mario and Digi Luigi there. And there's even some builds and games that focus on, the integration of Lego with the video game world. And they continue to knock it out of the park with these booths. I mean, it's cost them a fortune, but I think it's worth it because it really shows their integration and love of what they do with Lego and now video gaming. Lego Spider-Verse Minifigures collectible series is, of course, really anticipated by a lot of people, coming out on September 1st, but it looks like you're going to get quite a few of them that are going to need to be multiples because some of them have multiple heads, one specifically for Spider-Man head, and then their actual faces on it. You're going to get 4 of them. You're going to need to get 2. Spider-Man and May Mayday Parker, Sun Spider-Man, Web Slinger, and Miles Morales Spider-Man, because they'll have different heads for it. So it goes from the standard 12 to now 16 that you're going to need. And, I don't hate it because the more, the merrier. And they always have some really fun ways of integrating not only the classic minifigure heads, but now they're custom ones for this series. Lego's doing another upscaled minifigure. Now we had the pirate, we had the classic minifigure, and now we're getting a classic space astronaut, which is definitely a big win for all those that love classic space. There have been a lot of mocks focused on this because a lot of people really love this, and I don't know why they haven't done it sooner. I think that they just like to hold out and see how they work. And it'll go along with the baby upscale space fig. And very excited for this one. This is one I'll definitely need to get. There are rumors of a new helmet series focused on F1. We're going to get these similar to what we do for Star Wars and Marvel, where we have some great detailed helmets from either the past or the current future of what we see in F1. And they're ranging from $90 to $130. So pieces are going to vary for this just based on probably detailing of it, and probably a lot of stickers probably not printed for this. So I'm excited to see what they've chosen. Are we doing some more classic ones, or are we doing more modern style helmets? Toy Story is rumored to get its own Book Nook next year. Now, the Book Nooks have been moderately successful. I think that a lot of people really enjoyed like the Harry Potter one to integrate with their own Harry Potter books. I liked Sherlock Holmes. The Balrog is it's not great, but this one could be fun to have like Slinky going between each book, and maybe even the Andy's room displayed with some minifigures to go along with it. So we'll have to see what they do for this. But I think that integrating Book Nooks, you can use these between your classic VHS or DVDs because, well, VHS is pretty old for a lot of everybody that's listening here. But I love the Book Nook idea, and hopefully it succeeds. All right, everyone, that's it for this week's Breaking News. As I'll remind you, I am off next week as we are moving, but I appreciate all of you that are here listening to the podcast and supporting it as well. It's my livelihood to do something like this. I will be doing a new job, but I will continue doing Lego as much as I possibly can. So make sure to subscribe and follow this podcast, as well as go over to the backup account, backtobrick on Instagram, and then our YouTube channel, as I'm going to post more and more over there than the Instagram most likely. All right, let's get into our set reviews. Our first one is going to be set 43230. It's an 18 plus set at 811 pieces, and you'll get 650 insiders points for it. And it will cost you $100. This is the Walt Disney Tribute Camera. It has 225 reviews at 4.75 stars. I don't know if I've ever seen just like a little sliver out of it, but I think they've changed the structure of it so that it's closer to 5 or more accurate overall. And I just packed this up actually, and it's an interesting box because it's more of a square instead of rectangle, which a lot of sets are. But I love this set. It is a classic style of film camera with a lens actually is on rail pieces, rolls out and in, and it has the film canister on top for the dual rolls when starting and then when it's finished in the second roll. And it has 100 because it was a celebration of 100 years of the Walt Disney Company. It has this film reel that actually comes out of the side and kind of rolls down, and it has different scenes from classic movies, all done in the minifigure style. So we have Ariel, we have Beauty and the Beast, and the Jungle Book, and Maleficent as the dragon, all just super detailed and definitely one of the best they did for the 100th anniversary. And then we get 5 minifigures. We're going to get Bambi and Dumbo, which are new, and Mickey and Minnie in their black and white form, and then Walt Disney himself and a drawn photo of Steamboat Willie, or Mickey as his steamboat costume. Honestly, one of the best sets I've had, and I can't wait to build it. I definitely will do a review on it because this is a classic for any Disney-loving fan, and it is retiring this year, so you're going to want to hop on this train to get this. You can go over to the link in the description to purchase it and have a captured image and build of the 100 years of the Walt Disney Company. And our workable mock is the Autumn Arboretum by Modular Maniac. It's 3,762 pieces and will cost you $0 for the instructions. So it's a free thing that you can put in your city. Well, not free. You have to buy the pieces, of course, but it has 3 main structures to it. We've got a very skinny, small building on the side, looks like probably a apartment building. And then the next one is this beautiful glass structure with a tree inside. And then next to it is another little townhouse building to go along with it. They're all at the similar heights, except for, of course, the Arboretum has the skylight section. Well, obviously, I don't know if it's obviously, you might not know that. But they all have some interior details that show a apartment style to it. Of course, there's one that's definitely smaller. It has 3 total levels to each of them. And then the Arboretum has just a glass structure with the tree inside it in an autumn coloring, which you could probably change that up to a green coloring if you want. It shows a little gardener inside. and there's different plants in it as well. It's beautiful, and for free, you can't go wrong with something like this. The interior details are well done. There's a bookshelf area, there's a reading area with a room also as a bedroom. One, of course, is a little bit bigger than the other. It even has a staircase and the kitchen area. Just a really cool way to add something that has a little nature to it, interior to your cityscape, and a really cool glass structure. And that's all we have this week. Thank you for tuning into this week's podcast. Hopefully you learned a lot of things, and we're going to have a lot of news coming up, and I can't wait to tell you it when I'm living in Orlando. So thank you all for listening, and I'll leave you as I always do. Get creative, get out there, and go build something.